Abdel Nasser was seen as both a liberator for championing Arab nationalism and independence and a dictator for his authoritarian rule, suppressing political opposition and centralizing power in Egypt. His legacy remains deeply complex and contested. Gamal Abdel Nasser was born in the Egyptian city of Alexandria on January 15, 1918, the son of a postal worker. Egypt at the time was ruled by King Farouk I, a playboy. Britain maintained significant unofficial influence upon the Egyptian monarchy. Nasser's father was transferred to Cairo in 1933, where Nasser attended Al-Nada al-Masriya School and became head of El-Nada Secondary School's student union. In 1935, he participated in his first anti-government protest organized by the Nasser el-Fatah Society. He was hit in the face by a police baton, arrested, and placed in jail. Nasser joined the Egyptian National Military Academy in 1937 and graduated the following year, in 1938. In 1939, shortly after graduating and being commissioned in the army, Nasser and a friend, Anwar Sadat, volunteered to serve in Sudan shortly before the outbreak of the Second World War. During the Second World War, Nasser began forming a group of other young military officers with strong Egyptian nationalist feelings. The group called themselves the Free Officers. They were all in favor of a revolution to rid Egypt of the British cloak. Israel declared its independence on May 14, 1948. In support of Palestine and filled with Arab nationalism, Egypt and 4 other Arab countries attacked Israel. The 1948 Arab-Israeli War was an existential war for Israel against Arab forces from Egypt, Jordan, Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon. Egypt suffered a humiliating defeat. The Free Officers staged a coup on July 23, 1952, which ousted King Farouk. 3 days later, King Farouk was forced into exile. Nasser was re-elected as president of the Freedom Officers. The Revolutionary Command Council was established to supervise the Republic of Egypt. General Mohammed Naguib, a hero from the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, became the first president of Egypt, and Nasser was named prime minister on April 17, 1954. Nasser used his brief time as prime minister productively to purge pro-Naguib elements in the army. After a power struggle on June 23, 1954, Nasser replaced Naguib and was elected president of the Revolutionary Command Council. Later that same year, a member of the Muslim Brotherhood attempted unsuccessfully to assassinate Nasser during a speech on October 26, 1954. The attempt was used to crush the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. Nasser was to use this assassination attempt to suppress press freedom. The reason given was to prevent sedition. He also used it to quash Naguib and any political opposition. Nasser needed to modernize the Egyptian military. He let the world know that he was looking to Russia to buy arms, hoping to bait the United States to offer weapons. However, the U.S. did not bite, due to his support for the Palestinian Fedayeen and his anti-Israeli tone. Egypt eventually entered into an Egyptian-Czechoslovak arms deal brokered by the USSR. In September 1955, Nasser announced the supply of more than $83 million worth of modern Soviet weaponry for Egypt. 16th of January 1956. The first constitution of the revolution was announced, promising free and fair elections. On 23 June 1956, Nasser was elected president of Egypt with a large voter turnout. He was the only candidate. On the 19th of July 1956, the US and UK abruptly withdrew their offer to finance construction of the Aswan Dam. Nasser responded by the nationalization of the Suez Canal Company to fund the Aswan Dam project.
President Nasser delivering his fiery speech telling of his nationalization of the Suez Canal, a seizure from private interests that the Egyptian says is his answer to the West.
Britain, France, and Israel responded to the nationalization of the Suez Canal Company with a combined military operation. Under pressure from the US, however, France, Britain, and Israel were forced to withdraw, and a United Nations emergency force was subsequently placed as a buffer between Egypt and Israel. Nasser closed the Straits of Tiran to Israeli shipping on 22-23 of May, 1967. On the morning of 5th of June, Israel responded. The Israeli Air Force struck Egyptian airfields in what was known as the Six-Day War. On 9th of June, Nasser appeared on television to inform Egypt's citizens of their country's defeat. Despite radio propaganda stating the opposite, he announced his resignation. It was rejected by the people of Egypt. January 1968, Nasser began the War of Attrition to reclaim territory captured by Israel, ordering attacks against Israeli positions east of the then-blockaded Suez Canal. Israel responded by launching fierce airstrikes on Egyptian targets, inflicting massive losses on the Egyptians. The Rogers Plan came into effect August 8, 1970, to reach a ceasefire in the war, as well as to promote a comprehensive Arab-Israeli settlement based on UNSC Resolution 242. At the Arab League on 28 September 1970, Nasser succeeded in getting King Hussein of Jordan and Yasser Arafat, the chairman of the PLO, to end the bloody battle between Jordanians and the Palestinian Fedayeen. Hours after escorting the last Arab leader to leave the Arab League conference, Nasser suffered a heart attack. Nasser died several hours later, around 6 p.m., on 28 September 1970, at age 52. Anwar Sadat